The HMS Queen Elizabeth, the flagship of the Royal Navy, is one of the most advanced aircraft carriers in the world. Launched in 2014 and officially commissioned in 2017, this ship represents a massive leap forward for British naval power, designed to carry F-35B Lightning II fighter jets and helicopters. However, one of the most notable features of the HMS Queen Elizabeth, compared to other modern aircraft carriers, is that it lacks the angled flight deck, a characteristic typically found on most carriers designed for jet operations. This decision has raised questions from both military enthusiasts and professionals alike. Why did the British Navy choose not to include an angled flight deck? And what are the implications for its operations? The angled flight deck has become a defining feature of aircraft carriers, especially since its introduction in the 1950s. Prior to this innovation, aircraft carriers used a straight flight deck, where aircraft would take off and land in the same direction. However, this posed a problem. Landing jets on a straight deck was risky because the aircraft could collide with others trying to take off. The solution was the angled flight deck, which allowed aircraft to land at an angle, while also allowing other planes to take off simultaneously on the same deck. This design drastically improved efficiency and safety, especially with the advent of faster, heavier jets that needed more space to land and take off. The HMS Queen Elizabeth, however, adopts a different approach with its ski jump ramp, which replaces the traditional angled deck used by many other carriers, including the USS Nimitz and the Charles de Gaulle. This design choice has stirred debate, particularly because the ski jump ramp and straight deck are associated more with short takeoff and landing STOVL aircraft, such as the Harrier or F-35B, which can take off vertically but require a short assisted takeoff for added range and performance. The main reason behind the absence of the angled deck on the HMS Queen Elizabeth is linked to the specific requirements of the F-35B and the Royal Navy's operational needs. The F-35B, unlike conventional carrier jets, is a short takeoff and vertical landing STOVL aircraft. This means it can take off from a short runway using a ski jump ramp and land vertically, without the need for a long angled flight deck. This design allows the Queen Elizabeth to operate STOVL aircraft efficiently, while maximizing available deck space for more planes and helicopters. In essence, the ski jump ramp on the Queen Elizabeth provides a significant boost to the F-35B's takeoff performance, without the need for the more complex and expensive infrastructure that an angled flight deck requires. The ramp allows the aircraft to launch with more fuel and weapons, which is particularly important in combat scenarios. This is a critical advantage, especially in regions where the Royal Navy might be operating with limited resources and needs to extend the operational range of its aircraft. Moreover, the design of the Queen Elizabeth takes into account modern carrier operations where fixed-wing aircraft like the F-35B are now expected to work alongside rotary wing aircraft like helicopters. The lack of an angled flight deck actually makes operations on the flight deck simpler in some ways. By removing the angled portion of the deck, the Queen Elizabeth has a more spacious deck, which allows for greater flexibility in operations. Aircraft can land and take off simultaneously in a much more fluid manner, increasing the ship's overall operational efficiency. Another reason for not including the angled flight deck is the cost and complexity. Aircraft carriers are already complex and expensive vessels, and incorporating an angled flight deck would have added to both the cost and engineering challenges. Given the specific needs of the F-35B, and the fact that the ship has a ski jump ramp, the Royal Navy opted for a simpler and more cost-effective design that could still achieve maximum efficiency and operational effectiveness. While the decision to forgo the angled flight deck might seem unorthodox, it is part of a broader vision for how the HMS Queen Elizabeth fits into the modern Royal Navy strategy. The ship was designed with adaptability in mind. The lack of an angled flight deck does not hinder its ability to operate effectively with its intended aircraft. In fact, it allows the Queen Elizabeth to focus on the unique strengths of the F-35B, which excels in short takeoff and vertical landing operations. This focus on versatility is crucial as the Royal Navy shifts towards using multi-role aircraft and flexible tactics to meet the diverse challenges of modern warfare. Furthermore, while the Queen Elizabeth does not have the traditional angled flight deck, it still incorporates advanced technologies that allow it to operate with maximum efficiency. For example, the ship is equipped with automated landing systems, including an advanced landing aid that provides accurate guidance for aircraft as they approach the ship. These systems ensure that the F-35B, despite not using an angled deck, can land smoothly and safely in challenging conditions. The ship also features a highly capable radar system that helps to direct aircraft traffic on the flight deck, ensuring that operations run smoothly and safely. The decision to forgo the angled flight deck has also been made with an eye on the future. The Royal Navy strategy is long-term, And while the F-35B is the star of today, it is anticipated that future aircraft might have different requirements. The versatility of the Queen Elizabeth's design ensures that it can adapt to future technologies, potentially even aircraft with conventional landing and takeoff needs, without requiring a complete redesign of the ship. Some critics argue that not having an angled flight deck limits the ship's ability to operate certain types of aircraft. However, given the Royal Navy's focus on F-35B operations and its commitment to STOVL capabilities, the lack of an angled flight deck does not appear to be a significant hindrance. The ship is still highly capable of fulfilling its primary mission of power projection, humanitarian assistance, and maintaining global naval presence. In conclusion, the lack of an angled flight deck on the HMS Queen Elizabeth is not a flaw, but rather a deliberate design choice that supports the ship's operational goals. The ski, jump ramp, and STOVL aircraft like the F-35B are at the heart of the ship's design, making it an efficient and versatile platform for the Royal Navy. The decision reflects the changing nature of naval warfare, where flexibility, adaptability, and efficiency are becoming increasingly important. As the Queen Elizabeth sails into the future, this unique feature will continue to serve as a testament to the Royal Navy's forward-thinking approach to naval aviation.